Welcome, welcome. This is Justin Lethby. I'm the professor of real estate, and this is Realtor Tech Coach Live Sessions. I am here with Jason Bates. And Jason, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hey everyone, I'm Jason Bates, the host of a podcast right here in the Phoenix metropolitan area called Valley of the Sun Real Estate Show. So if you're looking to purchase or refinance a home, I certainly would love the opportunity to earn your business. And I love tech.
Yeah, that's definitely the conversation here, right? We're all techie here.
Yeah.
Which is actually kind of funny because I think I tweeted you on it. If I didn't, I was going to. I was doing some research this morning just on maybe trying to get some ideas on conversations and what's going on. And I found an old 2013 article from an Inman author.
Yeah.
Stating that you don't have to be a tech-savvy agent to be successful in real estate. Referencing that everyone was talking about millennials and things like that and how they, that's there and that's what they do, but that's not what's going to make them successful. And even though I do partly agree with it, I would say that the article in the last 3 years have been proven false because most of the successful people out there are using tech to one degree or another.
Well, that's the evolution, right? I mean, the tech is changing everything and it's changing rapidly. I mean, super fast. So to the point where you can't even really keep up with some of the stuff. And for example, I wanted to bring up a couple of apps that I came across. I was talking to one of my investors here locally, and I've always got these ideas about, tech and where it's going and how I can utilize it and how I can take advantage of it in my business. And so one of the things that he brought up was this RT, and I'm going to look it up here on my phone. I don't want to misdo it here or mispronounce it. RPR. And I'm not sure. I think it's Realtor
Property Resources.
Is that what it is? Okay, so you're aware of it.
Yep.
So I wasn't even aware of this, right? But I guess it kind of mirrors or pulls in FSBOs, cash deals. It pulls I guess I don't know how it does it. I don't even know if it's accurate. I don't know, anything about it. Other than the fact I tried to log into it and I couldn't because I don't have an RPR code or something like that. I guess you have to be a realtor to do that. It is I think it's a free one, but they were telling me there's a consumer side to it as well. Are you familiar with the consumer side?
I've only heard rumors. I have never seen a consumer side.
Yeah, it's only for real estate professionals. Now, this kind of, lends itself to what we've talked about before, which is there's going to be a point where somebody's going to build a better mousetrap to where the consumer is going to be able to have access to the things that realtors have access to, therefore questioning the need for the realtor, or at least part of the need for the realtor. So I don't know. I don't know if this is that, or if this is the first step to that. But
just so you understand, the way that it has been positioned currently is it is a real estate portal for realtors, right? So it is designed for us as agents to look anywhere across the country for properties and learn about the markets and learn about what's going on. That's how it's been presented, and that's how it's been branded currently. There's a lot of functionality in that software. I teach it fairly often anymore because there's actually some really nice functionality in that software.
Yeah.
But where they pull it from is they pull it from the MLSs and the assessor's offices in there. So that's how they're getting the FSBOs, the non-real estate based transactions. So that's how they're getting that data point. So here's the trick to it though, right? It's a NAR product. It's by NAR, which is the National Association of Realtors, for those of you who don't know. Right. And what they are making relationships across the country with all the assessors office associations, MREDs, MLSs in the world, things like that. But they don't have all of them. Some people just are choosing not to, or at least currently they're choosing not to. And the problem that you run into when you're searching nationally is you don't know. They don't tell you that Arizona MLS isn't playing, or that the Arizona Phoenix assessor's office isn't playing with you, right? You don't know that. So you don't know if you're getting all the data, which isn't the end of the world because it's still a pretty good tool. Yeah. But it's not everything at this point in time. Now, for me, I like teaching it locally because our whole area here is bought into it. So when we want to do some really neat evaluation solutions for our property, it's really nice.
Phoenix is in it. I know because the investor I have, he says he uses it to research properties, what deals are out there, especially on the FSBO side. So Phoenix is pretty much bought into it. Again, it's for realtors only, I guess. I don't know. Do you have to supply your license number or something? Is that how you get this code?
To log in, you have to identify with your NERDS number.
Okay. And so that NERDS number then identifies you as a realtor and then gives you access.
Yep.
So it's free as long as you've got this NERDS number.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And I don't have that because I'm a lender. So therefore I don't get access. Although it did say that I could call. So I don't know if there's some kind of dummy number or something like that they would give people.
I don't know. That'd be a good question. That'd be something I need to find out. I don't know. I mean, the way, again, it's always been branded. It's been branded for it's a realtor search portal, which is going to be interesting how they play along that because, right, we have a couple other tools that are going to be coming out. Broker portal being one of them. That's supposed to be designed as a national search tool.
Well, what is the advantage here other than, you in Chicago looking at properties here in Phoenix? You certainly could do that. But when you're here looking at locally, what's the difference between that and just looking on the MLS?
Well, so what's the difference is they do have their own CMA tool. So they have their own ability to create a comparative market analysis for you. RPR also is like every other company out there. They're trying to form their own estimation tool. So they have their own algorithm that will evaluate property value based on their formulas.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that is actually really, really nice in there is they've actually tied to some nationally reputable companies. And if I wanted to evaluate like repairs done to a home, so you call me up, Jason, say I want to sell my home, and I say, okay, talk to me about your home. Boom, 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 boom. Right? You tell me this. You tell me you fixed your kitchen up 5 years ago. You did your master bedroom 3 years ago, and this is the quality level that you did. I can kind of put that in there, and it will make price adjustments for me on the evaluation on the value of the home. So it's really nice that way. The other thing that's really neat in that tool is there are sliders for out there, right? So one of the biggest problems we have with real estate with like a Zillow, with Trulia, with Realtor.com for that matter, and all these other tools that want to give evaluations for you, they're not taking in a lot of factors, right? They're not taking in factors of what the neighborhood's like. They're not taking in condition of the home, condition of the outside, right? They're not taking those factors and they're just saying, hey, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, ranch is selling for, $220
average,
whatever, right? In there, those sliders, we can put those sliders in there and we say, okay, the condition of this home is, it's a little less than average, but the outside is really pretty sharp. The neighborhood's on an incline, right? So we can show some of that stuff and it will price adjust that stuff. So when you get done, you really will feel, I think I'm ready to use pretty happy with it. Really feel pretty comfortable with the pricing that it gives me based on the adjustments and some of the comparables that I will pick in the system.
And that's all through the RPR app.
Yep. Yeah, it's really sharp.
This is really something interesting because I just had a conversation and we're having problems in the lending world with appraisals. Mm-hmm. Appraisal hard times especially. I just found out this week that the state of Colorado requires an appraiser to have a 4-year college degree. Arizona was kind of going down that same road. And these are state requirements, which in Colorado, not Colorado.
Start to talk like Chicago guys.
Yeah, right. You're rubbing off on me. So in Colorado, you've got like in some areas, it takes 60 days to get an appraisal back. 60 days just for the appraisal.
And you guys can't move forward with your process until you get that.
We can't move forward. So what's that going to do? That's going to stimulate the need for innovation on our side. And are we going to move toward some type of technology resource like RPR where they can do a fair market analysis of a value of a home and be somewhat, not subjective. Appraisers are always subjective to properties. It's always kind of, you get 2 different appraisals, you're going to get 2 different values, right? Because they just interpret the value of the home a little bit differently, especially when you coming into the jumbo market or a new build or something that's not really established just yet. When you can take that algorithm out or that human factor out and put an algorithm in place to have a more predictable result, such as what maybe RPR is working on, I don't know, lenders may adopt that in the future.
It never occurred to me that way, but that it's an answer's point, right? And we've had this conversation somewhat in the past. In regards to how will pricing be determined at the end? Is it chicken and the egg? Is it Zillow that's going to determine values? Is it still the buyers that are going to determine value? What's going to determine value of a home? More and more things become automated. It's just easier to look. Well, it's worth 180. I'll pay 180.
Yeah.
It's going to be really interesting, and it becomes scary to me because really, from what you're talking about, programming can be hacked at all times, right? I mean,
yeah.
One of the biggest fears that you're starting to hear right now is that you're going to get a lot more voter fraud this year because you're going to have that much bigger numbers of electronic voting going on.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
So because anything can be hacked and be messed with. So, can I go into Zillow as a malicious person and start hacking their algorithm and change it so it makes more fun for me, so they can depreciate the value by X amount or increase it by X amount so I get more out of my home or my neighborhood, right? Can we start doing things like that and playing the system? But I think it's a solid point, because if it takes 60 days, what buyer is going to wait 60 days to buy a home? And that's really only for the appraisal. So you're still going to wait another 2 weeks past that.
Yeah. What seller's going to wait for that?
Right.
Hey, it's taking this long. And here in northern Arizona and some of the rural areas, communities here in Arizona, it can take 45 days, 30 days for an appraisal. So it does put some pressure on that. No question about that. And who aspires to be an appraiser to make, 30, 40,000, maybe $50,000 a year and need a college education to do so? Right? It's not cost effective. And so lawmakers have really made it very tough on lenders and appraisers in particular, here in this case, to justify the cost for the reward. So it's almost kind of like they're forcing appraisers out here a little bit. So I don't know if that's a trend that will continue. Hopefully not. But it is going to definitely spur some innovation in that arena. That's something that really needs some dialing in. But it's very, very difficult because it is a moving target. I'm seeing here recently, appraisal values coming in lower than what people think. So we're starting to see, some flattening, not necessarily flattening, but, people don't have maybe the upgraded granite countertops. They don't have, and so they're not getting credit, yet they're looking at comps that have some of these upgrades and they think their home is now worth, or, comparable to somebody who's had a recent renovation on their property. So that algorithm and getting that put together, there's a lot of moving components to that. It's going to be a challenge. Definitely going to be a challenge. Okay. So, hey, I want to move on to the next one here.
Yeah, you made me think, though. That's interesting. Okay. What's next? No, you just made me think. That's a very interesting thing.
Yeah, it's going to be, that's a blue ocean opportunity, in my opinion.
Right.
There's nobody touching that right now, really, with any success anyway. So the next thing here, and I've had some conversations here, and I try to get them on as a guest. Hopefully they'll come on as a guest. They're going to email me on Monday. It's called Link Me In Guides. I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but it's for real estate agents. Linkmeinguides.com. It's for real estate agents. And I'm sorry to, bombard you with this or kind of blindside you with this, Justin. But they help realtors and real estate professionals, well, realtors, I think in particular, improve their LinkedIn profile. And it got me thinking a little bit, because your LinkedIn profile is, it's the biggest professional network out there. Microsoft just bought LinkedIn, right? So there's
about 3 months ago.
Yeah, there's probably going to be some innovation coming in with that acquisition, integration in with Outlook and some of the other Microsoft products. And so this platform is going to become even more important as a professional profile, your resume, if you will, and some of the other attributes that you can put on this. We all know there are certain things that you just don't put on LinkedIn, right? You don't put your dinner, a picture of your dinner plate. You remember when that was a trend?
I had a great meal.
That was a trend. What, a couple of years ago, everybody took a picture of their dinner plate where they're eating. Now I don't see that so much anymore. But so maybe that was a bad example. But maybe video is going to be becoming a bigger part of LinkedIn. Other aspects of LinkedIn. This company will help put that all online for you. And I think it's one of these resources, social media resources for realtors, that is ignored. They're focused on Snapchat, or they're focused on Facebook, and rightfully so. I'm not discounting those, but your professional outlook should be your best presented social media outlook. So this company will help put that in line for you. They do have different tier levels, and I did ask them about their fees, because it's for the professional level it's $200. It's a one-time fee. $350 for their professional premium, one-time fee. $250 for the professional plus, one-time fee. So, and they're servicing, they're a worldwide company. This is where tech just kind of shrinks the world here a little bit, right? Because I think they service New Zealand, United States, a few other countries. I can't remember the exact ones, but I'm hoping to get them on as guests next week.
Cool.
And talk about their service.
No, I think that's interesting, because I would agree. I think LinkedIn is an underutilized tool. I always laugh because we have some tools in our local MLS system, and I think our MLS is one of the best out there. I've seen a few of them, and I really like our MLS. But we have a tool out there that will post our listings into LinkedIn. And I'm going, yeah, that's not really understanding LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a networking opportunity. If you want to have a networking event through LinkedIn, that's fine. You want to create a group in LinkedIn and maybe have listings, maybe you want to do that. But yeah, I would agree, because you made me look at my LinkedIn profile. Now, again, I'm marketing differently. I'm not linking, I'm not marketing to consumers, but I'm thinking about what I had written in the past, and yeah, that would have needed some serious tweaking if I was actually trying to use LinkedIn as any serious type of growth tool.
I think everybody can use that, right? I mean, I can use it, and I post on LinkedIn quite often. I use a lot of the resources that LinkedIn has. Their posts, that's a whole blog thing in of itself. I don't know why people aren't utilizing that more. I utilize it for my podcast, and I get pretty good exposure from it. There's a lot of tools within LinkedIn that I think are just not utilized, because I don't think people really understand it. They just think it's, hey, another professional, let me post a couple things on listings and then move on. When there's many other aspects, joining groups, for example, engaging in conversations in there. There's just a ton of stuff within LinkedIn that would help build your professional profile. And the other thing that I really thought about this, if you do a Google search of your name, LinkedIn and Facebook are probably, and maybe your website, depending on your SEO. But as far as social media, LinkedIn and Facebook are some of the top search results. So why not have that LinkedIn as professional as possible? So,
oh no, I completely agree. And the thing is you look at your LinkedIn profile, and there's so many people that just don't take complete advantage of how you write things, how you add your history in there, how you maybe add a PowerPoint presentation. I mean, one of the best things I think you could do as a LinkedIn real estate agent, and maybe these guys would disagree with me, but that would be a great conversation to have, is add your marketing packet in there, right? You can add PowerPoint slides right in here.
Yeah, exactly.
So, have it in there. That way when people are looking at you, they can look at what you do from a marketing perspective. And now you don't have to have that conversation at the showing table. You get to have it. They already know it. So you don't got to worry about that stuff. You're just talking about who it is because they already bought into you.
100% agreed, man. So I thought this was very interesting because it's really designed specifically for real estate agents. This isn't some marketing firm that's, a broad brush trying to, get everybody in the LinkedIn bandwagon. They're really specific for real estate agents. The only company I've ever come across that is specifically targeting real estate agents in the LinkedIn arena. So I thought, hey, let's talk to them. And I have had some chats with them. I sent them my email, and they're going to give it to their team on Monday, and they'll reach out to me. So hopefully next week, maybe we can get them on here as a guest and talk LinkedIn, link me in guides. Or link me in guides.
No, I like this. That's a good find. I'm kind of disappointed I'm not the one telling you that.
Yeah, so that's hopefully, I'm kind of excited. Hopefully, I sent them the link to this YouTube, so hopefully they'll watch, and hopefully they'll be willing to participate. They're
headquartered out of Singapore, huh?
Yeah, Australia, Canada, Hong Kong, New Zealand, Singapore, United Kingdom, United States.
Interesting.
So, and probably expanding. This just goes to show you how the world, and I just had this conversation on Wednesday with a real estate broker here locally, that real estate is now a worldwide thing. It's not a local situation. Here's two examples, right? We just did RPR, where you in Chicago can see properties here in Arizona. You don't have access. You don't have to have access to the MLS. You don't have to pay that fee to get access to our MLS.
Yeah, you make me curious. I'm gonna try to see if I can find something out. I want to see, because I know you've never told me your address, but now since I know your name and I know basically where you live, I know the city you live in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if I can go on RPR and find your home.
Yeah, maybe it's public knowledge.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm curious. It's just it's an experiment.
Scary. I mean, I don't care. I trust you, right? But there are creeps out there. That could be a little creepy.
Yeah, I won't share it with anybody. I'll put it on Twitter. Don't worry, man. It'll be a big picture.
You'll do a map quest and put a map quest on Twitter. Speaking of which, isn't MapQuest making some changes?
I didn't know, to be honest with you, until you MapQuest. I thought it was gone.
Is it MapQuest or Google Maps? Maybe it's Google. Did Google Maps buy out MapQuest?
Google Maps bought out Waze. I had not heard they could have bought out MapQuest. I did not hear that. But MapQuest is still around. That's amazing. I thought it was gone, to be honest with you. I thought it was gone. I'm so into Google Maps. I love Google Maps. I haven't investigated. I should, but I haven't investigated other tools in a long time.
Yeah, no, me either.
Because it was still horrible. Well, it wasn't great in the beginning, but it was the best tool out there for the longest time.
I came across another thing too that that was kind of interesting. Was it's not here in the United States, although maybe it will be in the future. Let me see if I can find it here again. I think it was something to do with like scheduling like showings for realtors and managing their properties. Schedule.
Well, yeah, and see to me, I was having this conversation. I've had it twice in the last 3 weeks. And you're going to start seeing companies do what you're hinting at right here. Technology exists today. I don't technically, I don't need to meet a buyer until they're ready to buy a home, right? I can put it on the MLS, put it on the internet, take a 3D visualization map of the home, let them explore it literally in virtual space. I can then, theoretically, I could give them a key code to enter through the house so they could see it when they wanted to see it.
Provided it's an empty home, though, right?
Well, no, we won't go that part. We'll just say theoretically all the physical things, right? We'll talk about the logistics over here in a second. And then at that point in time, if they're ready to make that final step, then they need to contact somebody to make an offer or make sure they're making the right decision, right? I mean, that's theoretically how far down the road it can go before someone actually meets a realtor today. Now, what you're saying is absolutely right. It's an empty home. That's a no-brainer. They can do that on their own. But even from an empty home, you're still running into one big problem, and that's a liability factor, right? And that's where we're going to have to hang up for a long time to be able to show a home without being represented by a real estate agent walking through that home. It's a liability factor, right? So, and if anybody can schedule that home and look at that home, they can come in there and destroy it and not care.
Mm-hmm.
And just go extreme, because no one ever accept a listing from Mickey Mouse. But say they go, okay, I'm Mickey Mouse, I want to see the home, get a code, come in, they break it up. Who's Mickey Mouse? We don't know. Boom. That's where the problem is going to exist. So when you talk about what you were just saying, having other companies start scheduling some of that stuff, they can probably start setting protocols up where they can verify, right? Check, where they can have these systems in place. So now we have people, and you're not getting a showing unless you have passed these 5 credentials.
Well, here's the product summary. So it says here, and it's called Schedule Lock. So SCHEDULOCK, and that's their website too .com. I think they're just in Ontario, Canada, right now.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
You have heard them. So
I've heard of them.
arranging showings has never been easier with Schedule Lock. This is their promo thing. The mobile application and website is a real estate showing management tool and platform for realtors. Schedule Lock allows realtors to schedule their real estate showings, manage lockbox codes, and track feedback in all one place. Schedule Lock offers transparency, security, control of realtors for realtors and home sellers by authenticating every realtor and tracking lockbox activity. Using Schedule Lock reduces the amount of time spent performing administrative work to arrange showings. So, again, I don't know how Canada does their real estate. I would think there would be some liability, some exposure here a little bit, but at least they're exploring this opportunity. It has to start somewhere, right? So, I don't know. Would this hit the United States with the way we do real estate here? I don't know. I don't know if it's any different in Canada. I don't know.
I don't know. It'll be interesting. But again, my whole thing with this is you're just pushing one step further away from saying, okay, we can verify a realtor, then we can verify people, right? And that's what I'm hinting at is the fact that I think you're going to start finding companies to help transition this from a liability concern to just how it's done business. I don't think it'll happen tomorrow. I don't even think it'll happen within 5 years, but I think sometime in the next 10 years, you will start seeing consumers see homes without a realtor.
Yeah. Yeah,
and companies like this are going to test that boundaries and see if it's plausible, and they're going to push that thought process.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's fascinating. I'm kind of excited to see where it would go. But I agree with you. I mean, because like we were just saying, it's a worldwide market now. It's a worldwide. Now, the only thing preventing truly worldwide market, a true world, is Bitcoin. Right? When there's one currency that everybody can, use and not have to worry about all this other, hey, who knows? Who knows what that will do to real estate if that ever happens? But if it does, real estate becomes a worldwide market. It already kind of is here in the United States, really. I mean, we get so many people out of the country that purchase property here. It's crazy. I know here in Phoenix, we have a ton of people. It's kind of like Los Angeles, not quite to that extent. Where we get a lot of out of the country, a lot of Canadians, summer visitor or winter visitors, that sort of thing. We get a lot of people out of country that purchase property here.
No, it's an interesting. You're seeing that, and what I'm going to be curious to see is, China is one of our biggest exporters of buyers for a while.
Yeah.
And they have basically pulled back. So I'm kind of curious what that's going to do to our housing inventory.
Yep. There are other things out there too. I was kind of looking at Property Go is another one that connects kind of lenders, real estate, or not, commercial real estate lenders with people. So Property Go. So if you're a realtor looking at, commercial or looking at doing commercial, maybe, jumping into that pool, Property Go is an app that will help you connect. And they're actually based right there in your hometown there. Chicago or next to you there.
Yeah, I've seen them at a trade show or something at some point.
Yeah,
didn't get a chance to
how
talk
popular
to them.
it is. Commercial seems to be gaining in steam here, at least here in Phoenix. Was low for a long, long time. It really hasn't had its explosion like residential has. But I feel like in the next couple years, I think commercial property is going to become more of a premium. There's going to be more activity in that commercial market.
Oh yeah, the market's going to start picking up again, right? We had the residential loan crisis, we had the commercial loan crisis. Residential is finally picking back up. You're going to start seeing, I think, commercial start picking back up. The only thing that's going to slow that down is the job market, right? If you still have, a slow in that area and people can't make a lot of money, then it's still going to be a challenge.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what I had for today, man. Those are the two main things.
I wanted to find an article. I sent you one this morning. I don't see you saw it on Twitter or not.
No, I haven't been on Twitter. Well, briefly, I was on Twitter this morning.
No, I can't find my messages. Here we go. Let's go to tweets. Uber's been making waves. That was about a month ago.
Yeah, with auto, right? That
Yeah.
this is going to be interesting, man. And I think we talked about this a little bit with the driverless cars, right?
Yeah.
Driverless cars, if that really takes off and that technology takes off, which it sounds like Google's committed to it, obviously Uber's committed to it. The trucking industry is probably going to transform into it. They're going to have to, I would think. I mean, think about a driverless car. The only thing preventing that thing from getting from point A to point B is the gasoline. I mean, it's not like you have 8 hours of rest time that you are required to have as a truck driver. You're not limited by that, right? So when it's a driverless car. So literally, it's like a train on our highways. You just got to put enough fuel in the doggone thing to get it from point A to point B.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how it does for parking. I mean, what do they do? Just put them in a lot, and then you have a truck driver pick it up from that lot, and then actually back it into the warehouse. I don't know how that. I don't know. Backing up a truck is pretty hard for even a human. So backing that up from a driverless perspective might be a little bit of a challenge, because especially in New York and even Chicago and downtown Phoenix, there's some tight areas that these trucks have to fit into. But I don't know. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out, what this does for jobs, and then how that transpires into real estate. I mean, could real estate companies, could you imagine, let's say Keller Williams hires a fleet or buys a fleet of these cars, right? And says, okay, here's your map. Here, we plug it into the car and it takes you out and shows you the properties. I don't know. Could that happen?
Oh, again, I'm telling you, I totally believe that the point in time that we have a transaction with realtors is going to change. It's been shifting for a long time, but it's going to shift again. Yeah, I found the article TechCrunch created. Uber co-founder launches new real estate venture for Expa called House. House is a studio's first real estate play and focused entirely on the buying and selling of residential property, digitizing organized offers from buyers. They're starting to put their hands in the real estate world.
Uber.
It's called House. Haus.
So what is that on Twitter? I'm going to pull it up so I can read it here with you.
I did it. Let's see here. I'll retweet it.
Think about this. Uber starts out as a technology company, as a cab company, essentially, right? Leveraging people's automobiles for transportation for people who don't have automobiles. And they've transformed into possibly the trucking business and now into real estate. This is crazy.
Yeah, this was predictable, though. I've been saying this. I shouldn't say just me. You met him before, Terry Whelan. He's the guy that was first doing this with me.
Yeah, right.
We have been saying this for a very long time. And it was only a matter of time, because it makes sense. As what you said, right? You're already showing people around. Now you can show people around, let them in the house, drive them there. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, right. If you had this code, this lockbox thing or whatever, right? The schedule lock, right? You had this schedule lock type of deal, and then you had an Uber. I mean, really, the real estate agent is going to sit in their office and here you go. Here's the car. You're taking the green car in the parking lot, just like an amusement park ride.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
Well, I think about it. I've had four people, say 4 groups of people actually ride at my vehicle ever to go show homes. 3 of the 4 were family.
It's a little dangerous, right? I mean, for a realtor, I mean, you're getting in a car with a stranger. Although Uber does it, I mean, they do it, I guess. I don't know. I'm
just saying they don't think about it, right? Their concern isn't this. Their concern is other things. So to me, it's fascinating. I think it's utterly fascinating.
When did this article come out? In July?
July 28th, I think it was. So about a month ago.
Wow. I'm surprised I didn't see this. This is fascinating. This is how fast real estate is changing. When you have companies seeing the opportunity in real estate and investing time and effort into developing these sort of things, I mean, if that doesn't tell you as a realtor that things are changing and that you got to be ahead of this curve a little bit and make yourself relevant, I don't know what does. Oh, hey, too, Costomatic. We talked about Costomatic, right?
Yep.
I don't know if I mentioned this last week. For everybody who doesn't know what Costomatic is, they're kind of the Match.com, matching properties with buyers. And you log into this Costomatic. It was here in Phoenix. I think it was there in Chicago, I believe. I think Cincinnati is where it's headquartered out of, and a couple other cities. So it's not nationwide just yet. But what it did is you put in your information, what you look for in a home, the style of home, Cape Cod or Santa Fe or, whatever you're looking for, what's most important to you, your commute to work, good schools, whatever. And then it kind of matches it all down. Similar to what a realtor should be asking you when you're looking to purchase a home as a new home buyer. Now they pulled out, I think, from the consumer side. They've actually pulled back here a little bit. And I'm hoping to have them on my podcast. I've reached out to them and they said they would like to be a part of the podcast. So hopefully I'll get them on the podcast in the next couple of weeks. And they are just dealing with realtors who are actually part of their system. I'm not quite sure what their strategy is here in pulling out, but I signed up for Casomatic. I think it ends in September 12th or something like that. They're going to, delete my account, so to speak, and just deal with realtors that are already in their system. I'm not a realtor. I was a consumer, so I don't know on the consumer side how that's going to be affected. But we're starting to see that shift again. They tested the waters, as you said. Didn't really work out for them, so they're taking a step back and redirecting the app. This is where you and I have been saying for a long time, everybody's trying to reinvent that mousetrap, and they're just experimenting what's working, what's not working, right?
Yep.
And
they got a theory. If you test it, they don't. It hangs or doesn't, and they go from there.
Right. So it's changing. It's just super changing. I mean, that not many people know about Costomatic, and here they are already making changes, right? So it's kind of.
Tell you what, if you had money, and I was just thinking about this the other day. If you had money just to spend, right, and you were a real estate entrepreneur of any type.
Mm-hmm.
I would be looking for all the failing real estate companies and buying their data.
You mean like real estate brokerage companies?
No, I'm talking like Costomatic. I'm talking maybe like House maybe doesn't take off, RPR if it fails, things like that. Because here's what you're going to discover. What we're doing right now is this. We as real estate agents, real estate consumers, we're trying all these things. HomeSnap's a new app, not a new app, but it's a newer app that came out, right, doing some things.
Right.
It's gone through a couple iterations of life at this point in time.
Mm-hmm.
But if I was the owner of that real estate data, I don't really want to be, personally, I don't want to be the company that runs House. I don't want to be the company that runs that, but I want to be the people that owns that data.
Yeah.
Because what I want to be able to do is run analysis on that data to find where the trends are happening, what's going on, right? The power, I'll be honest with you, the power right now is not in being that company. Those companies will make money, but that's not where the power is going to be. That power is in all the data they're collecting, right? You're talking Costomatic. They're trying to understand what people are looking for. So they're trying to be like a house matchmaking system. I think it's an awesome idea, but they're not going to be able to collect enough data to stay alive, I don't think, before that data becomes valuable, right? It's going to be 10, 15, 20 years before that data becomes viable. So I want to be collecting that data now. So when I can use that stuff, I can make that ultimate app.
Yeah. Yeah. No, the data, I mean, when I worked at the bank, when I worked at a bank in my past life, at a bank, we routinely saw other banks buy other parts of different banks and strictly get that information, that data that you're talking about, and disregard everything else, including its employees. It happened to me. I worked at Bank One, now Chase, right? Household bought our division, or the division that I worked for at Bank One, bought us out. All they wanted was the data. All they wanted was the clientele, the information on the clientele. That's all. And they wanted our LOS system, which is loan origination system. That's all they wanted. And the employees, hey, here's your severance package. Take a hike. It's crazy to me. So, you're absolutely right. There's probably a lot of valuable data here that if somebody could collaborate and put all these things together, they could build a super real estate machine.
I think if someone had the power and the wherewithal, and really when I mean power, I mean the money. Because if I had the money, I'd be doing it right now. I'd be trying to create an ultimate database structure, right? Yeah. My whole goal is to have one big database where I'm collecting all the information, and then I'd build smaller databases for each company that needs to run that program, right? And I would pay you a discounted price for that, so I could collect that data for myself.
Yeah, the data is.
Now, the only thing you always have to be careful about is privacy issues. But again, I don't want the data because I don't want to solicit Jason Bates. I want to solicit Jason Bates' style of customer, right? Yeah. So, my thing is you got to be careful because you're going to run into privacy issues with something with a strategy like that. But to me, if you could collect that data, holy crap! I mean, the things you could create right now would be insane.
It is. This is what's so fascinating to me. We are witnessing change in our industry. Mm-hmm. We're witnessing this change, and some people aren't even aware of it.
Well, think about this. I told you about RPR, right? How you could use these sliders to depict categories of scales and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. That's data they're collecting, or should be if they're not. Right? So now I can know that this neighborhood's on a downward trend because everybody keeps saying it's going down, right? So now I can start adjusting my automated value tool to price it appropriately.
Right.
Right. If they're not collecting it, they're insane. But I would think they are. So now you actually are getting some of those factors that are human factors that you can start assessing with.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, man.
Big data is huge, man. Big data is very, very huge. The other thing I sent you, and we really don't have time to talk too much about it because we do a lot with video anyways on here, was there was a tech-savvy agent giving tips on how to do video. And I just thought it's a Twitter I sent you that I thought really supported a lot of things that we talked about.
I had the conversation today, speaking of which, or not today, on Wednesday when I met with that broker. And all the things we've talked about, they're trying to instill in their agents. And this is where I always say, first you have a thought, then you talk about that thought, right? And then you act about that thought, and then that thought becomes habit, right? That's kind of the progression of it. We're right now talking about how to implement video. And even the agent said, she's like, well, I don't think anybody's really perfected video because we're still in this experimental stage with video and how that translates into real estate. Some agents have had great success at it and do a fabulous job with video. Other agents, horrible. I've given examples of that. The shakiness. Facebook Live is actually introducing a lot more agents to video, although there's still a ton of agents not using video at all, even on Facebook Live. And I'm not so keen on it either, but at least they're getting introduced to it, so that's good. That's a good thing. That's a step in the right direction. Facebook Live is integrating in two people to talk at the same time, kind of like what we're doing here with Hangouts. I think they put it up in the upper right-hand corner. I don't know if you saw that video that I sent to you.
No, I couldn't. I keep trying to access. I couldn't get to it. It says it's not around anymore, so I don't know if it got deleted or something.
It's part of.
I'm not part of the group, so I can't see it. I don't know.
Yeah, join that group, man. Stream. I think it's Born to Stream or something like that. Join that group. Born to Stream Live, I think it is, or whatever. Joel Comm is on there quite a bit. He's a live streamer that's out there quite a bit. There's a lot of live streamers on different platforms in there, so I'm a part of that group just to see what's happening in the live streaming.
Is it a small group? It looks like there's only 7 people in there.
No, there should be more than that. I don't think it's very big. It came from the Blab community. So when Blab kind of, let me see if I can get into it.
Yeah, I'm not seeing those names you're talking about.
What I should do, man. We should create a streaming platform within LinkedIn.
There you go.
Not necessarily a streaming platform. I kind of misspoke there, but a group at any rate.
Sure. No, I get that. That would be a good one.
Because LinkedIn is going to at some point adopt live streaming. They just are.
I'm curious how they do it because I think they do it more webinar style. Because again, it's a business networking group, so you got to be more of a. It's got to be more of a networking environment platform.
Yeah. Yeah, it's born to stream live, dude.
Born
That's
to
the group.
stream live. Let's see if I do that. Born to stream.
Barbara Tomlin is the administrator of the group. I think she's live right now, as a matter of fact. I don't know how many members are
Yeah, I don't
in
see
there,
it.
but
Born to, is it number 2 stream? I'm not seeing it,
no.
dude.
Look here, hang on.
Is it a hidden group? Maybe I won't be able to find it and search on it.
Let me see if let me put this link in here.
If you can, try to invite me. I mean, if you got in.
Yeah, how do I do that?
Usually if you go into the ad, if you go to any group.
So I'm in the group. So I hit members, and then do I invite somebody?
If you go there, yeah, if you're on the home page, usually on the right-hand side, you'll see an area that says add members. Maybe you don't have access, but usually you have that.
Yeah, I'll add you, dude. I see that now. Eileen Smith is in here. Jonathan Tripp. A lot of live streamers that we've associated with here. Let's see here. Justin. And my computer's running slow because I'm running video, so bear with me here.
I had to turn some things off too because I was trying to do a tweet real quick. I'm going, okay, it's taking every letter every second. It's like, okay, it's not going to work.
Yeah. Justin, we're friends, I know.
Aren't we? I thought we were.
I don't know that we are, dude. How are we not friends on Facebook, brother? We are everything else, and we're not on here. I'm trying to add you here and spelling your name. I'm like, am I spelling his name right? What am I doing here?
Holy cow, you're right. That's funny.
So send me a friend.
Of course, there's not a small opportunity of Jason Bates around either.
Is there quite a few?
Yeah.
JAYSY. I was born in 1969, so I'm giving my age away here a little bit. As a kid, I was the only JAY that I ever saw. Now I see JAY everywhere. So it must.
I'll find you. I'll add you, and you can link me back into it. But no, I think it's a good idea creating a live group inside of LinkedIn. I think it's always a solid idea because what you need to do, I really, again, we're big proponents of it, and I think really to have more people in that arena is going to help.
Yeah, absolutely. When you can share ideas and leverage one another to benefit your business, I think that's a good thing. Okay, ma'am. I'm going to switch you out here. Okay, so anyway, that was really cool. Facebook Live having dual people on. It's a question of time before they get other people. Snapchat, I think, is experimenting a little bit more in the live streaming platform, right? I think Snapchat, quite honestly, I think Snapchat's going to go away. I think it's going to get bought out.
Oh, I don't think it'll go away, but yes, I do completely agree with that. I think it will get bought out. I think their whole game plan is to get bought out.
Yeah, they're just doing things just to keep up. Of course, Twitter has done some things. You can add emojis and stuff like that to your pictures on Twitter now, which is very similar to Snapchat. This is why I say Snapchat's really going to become irrelevant. It sounds real big right now, but it's not anywhere. I don't know. It was getting more and more followers. I think we did some statistics on that where they were outpacing Twitter. But I still think it's the LinkedIn, Google Plus. I think it's gone, right? I mean, who's on Google Plus anymore?
The hardcore advocates are still on Google Plus. I think it'll still be around though, but I don't think it's going to be around as a Facebook solution. I think what's going to happen with Google Plus is because those community pages are doing really well. So I think what they're going to end up doing is trying to create like a siloed version of a social media tool, right? So you can join Google Plus communities and be around in conversations, but you won't necessarily just be able to broadcast your thought for the day, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be around. I just think they're going to go through a rendition of things because those community pages, you still get some really good interaction with that. Really good. I'm going to add my link through the private message. How to find me on Facebook.
Well, I think I'm following you on Facebook now.
How are you?
But I don't know that It didn't give me a friend request.
That's what I'm wondering. Thought we were. It's there anyways. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I thought we were. Who knows?
Where did you send me that link?
Just direct messages in Twitter.
Oh, okay. All right.
I didn't want to put it in Twitter. I don't need because that would be torture.
Yeah, I don't see you, man. I don't know if I didn't. When I follow you, why couldn't I send you a friend request?
Oh, I have plenty of room.
That's weird. Okay, well, I'll try to get you. We'll get hooked up, and then I'll get you into that group because I'll just put your name in there and send you that request, and you can get in there.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Like I said, because it's got to be a hidden group because I can't find it.
Okay.
Cool, man. Well, I got nothing really else. Those are the kind of topics I wanted to get. You had a couple topics. I think that worked out well today. We found our own.
Yep. And hopefully, I'll keep you posted. Hopefully, we'll have the guys from guide me to or link. What's the? Cause good grief! I just link me in guides. Hopefully, we'll get some feedback from them, and hopefully, we'll get them on next week. That would be awesome.
Yeah, no, that'd be fun. Because I think that'd be a good conversation. I think LinkedIn would be a good conversation. And there was something I was going to ask you on Twitter I think would be a good conversation, but I'll have to write it down next time I remember it.
Okay.
Because I think those are some things that would be really good topics to have. And again, we're coming up close to September, which I think one of the things we'll probably start talking about is, realtor safety, e-safety, as well as just being smart, right? Because there's technology solutions out there and just good tactics that will help you stay safe when you're out showing homes.
Yep.
So cool, man.
Yep, most definitely. All right, man. Good conversation today. And it does say following you, dude. I'm following you.
I don't know why you're following. Why can't you?
If I click unfollow, let me see if I click unfollow and then if I can friend you.
So weird.
Yeah, it just says I can follow you, man. I can't do anything.
Well, now are you on? You're on Justin Letheby, right? The profile page, not because I got a broker page, like a business page. I'm on those things.
The link that you sent me.
The JB Letheby. Okay, that's the page.
Yeah.
I did a search for you in my friend list, and I don't actually. I got maybe. Let's see here.
I'll send you a message.
Yeah, I don't even see you in the name of people that have requested to friend me.
Message sent.
Got nothing from you yet. We'll see how soon it packs up.
Yeah, it may take a minute because I'm running the video or whatever.
Okay, we'll figure it out, man. Cool. Well, anything you want to sign off with? Anything you want to tell people?
Yeah, just if you're into podcasts, take a listen to my podcast, valleyofthesunrealestateshow.com, where I try to provide anything and everything that you need to know when it comes to your real estate needs right here in the Valley of the Sun, Phoenix, Arizona. And if you do take a listen to that, please write that review on iTunes. It's on Google Play Music, TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio. It's all over, so check that out. And if you're looking to refinance or purchase a home, I certainly would love the opportunity to earn your business right here in Arizona.
Cool. And my name again is Justin Letheby. I'm the E-Professor of Real Estate. I do a lot of technology training around the areas. Talk all things tech and try to get you guys more productive using tech tools. Anytime you want to, just go to eprofessorofrealestate.com and watch some videos or even just call me up. Cool. So we will see you next week. Thanks, guys. Okay. Too many things.